Alright, I would like to preface this by saying this is my third time filming, and the first time took about 45 minutes. So I'm going to try to lower this down. Um, and let's see what we can do. Alright, so first of all, like in the lower left hand corner, if you look at like what's going on, like this says schematic placement, if you scroll through, holding your left control, you can go to schematic placement, area selection, edit schematic, delete, move, grid paste schematic in world. I have no idea what this does. Paste schematic in world, replace block, fill, and back to schematic placement. So like if you go to area selection, you can actually make the selection of whatever you have in the world. So if you want to, you can right click and it will go into it will actually highlight the block that you picked. But if you press shift and right click, it will just lay on the block that you picked. So do the same thing over here with left mouse click. So this is right mouse click, this is left mouse click. And if you press alt, you can look forward, back, or whatever while scrolling, and it will go the direction that you're looking. So if you're looking forward and you scroll up, it'll go forward. If you're looking forward and you scroll back, it'll go back. And so you look down, it'll go up. And so that's how you highlight everything you need to highlight. If you need to pick the other box, you just middle mouse click on the box, and you'll be able to start moving that one. If you really need to, you can go to your menu. Now, I need to say this, that if you have a map mod and you need to press M, and it will conflict. So if you do and you don't have mod menu, you can press the minus key on your keypad, on your number keypad on the right side, open that up and go to schematic verifier, Litematica menu, and it'll bring you to the main menu. Go to the configuration menu, go to hotkeys, and you can change your hotkeys for the GUI main menu. I set mine to B. B is the most unused thing on my keyboard. So when I put it to B, I switched everything to B. Anything that said M plus whatever, because it normally is M, I put B plus L, B plus B, B plus V, all that other stuff. And it just opened up everything to me. A few other notable mentions: schematic edit replace all, I put as F9. Schematic edit replace block, I put as F8. And then easy place toggle, I put as F6. Execute operation, I put as KP5. So this is important. Like those are important. Like I know I went through it fast, but like we have pause and other stuff like that. But so go back to your other menu, and now that you have it highlighted, you go to area editor, and you can use this to move all your stuff around if you want to. So this is corner 2, and if you want to move it, you can left mouse click and it'll go over to the right, right mouse click and it'll go over to the left. That's me alternating the mouse clicks. So you can do it right here too, right here as well, and basically just pick it that way, if you really want to. And then you go over to corner 1 and it'll do it on the other side. And so if you want to save it, you go into test, or you go to selection name. Like I said, I'm going to put test, set. You always want to set. So like it'll have nothing there. You set, it'll set it to that. Your subregion box name, you want that to be set. Save schematic. Save schematic. Test already exists, so we can't really do it. But because I've already done this video before. So this is test right here. This is the Litematica file. So if you want to choose it, go to schematic placement. That'll allow you to move and pick schematics at will. So schematic placement, middle mouse click on which schematic you want if you have multiple out. Or what you can do is go into schematic placements and click on whichever one you want. If for some reason it unselects all of them, that's how you fix that. And then you can move it around to whatever you need. So we're going to move this out of this way. So we have this here for a reason. So we'll get back to that. So one of the things that I want to talk about right off the bat is Easy Place. Easy Place is probably by far the cheatiest part of Litematica, and you will hear about it a lot if you use it. But it is the most useful part of Litematica. So I set my um, Easy Place to F6. So when I press F6, Easy Place is on. All I did was hold the left trigger. And it's done. That's all I did. That's why it's cheaty. And so, if you don't want to use that, don't use it. But schematic verifier, this is also something that really is really useful. Is let's take these out. Press B, schematic placements. This is test, so configure schematic verifier. If you changed your hotkeys before, the schematic verifier is BV if you changed them to B, or it would be MV if you kept M. But schematic verifier, and you can verify the schematic by clicking start verification, and if you like, it'll show you everything that's wrong with the schematic. So if it's in the wrong direction, it will say it's in the wrong direction. But if it's not there, it'll say found error. And you go into the main menu, and well, look at that. It wasn't there. So you just middle mouse click, do that. Let's fix that. And so if you middle mouse click on this, let's say like you middle mouse click on that, it will pick up the actual block that you want to pick up. So let's say middle mouse click on that, I want to put it there it goes. You know, like you just middle mouse click like you would a normal block, and it'll pick it out of your inventory. So placing a new schematic, if you open your main menu, load schematic, and you go all the way, let's loaded schematics. So this is how you unload them. You go to loaded schematics, unload. So you go to load schematic, and you can go down to test, load schematic. Sorry, I wasn't on the proper settings. And there it is. There's a schematic. So if you want to move it around, you can right click where you want it to go, or left click, it doesn't matter. And then where, like, if you want to move it, go to schematic placement in the lower right hand corner, and you can press Alt, and just like you did with the boxes, you can look in a direction and scroll wheel, and it'll move it to where you want to. Alternatively, let's say you want to hook this up over here and not over here. If you go into schematic placements, configure, you can rotate it so that way it's on that side. But let's say you still want the chest on the other side. Configure, rotate, back to where it was. So now the chest is on the other side where it's supposed to be, but you still need it to be received on the other side, and mirror it. You can mirror it front to back, and now the chest is on this side and this is on this side. It's a very good manipulation strategy to do this. So you can mirror front to back, you can mirror left to right, and you can rotate all degrees, and you can also move your schematic by clicking on these. Let's say this right here, you know how easy it is to like be working on a project, get it to where you get the schematics where you need to be, and you go to click on something and bam, it moves. Well, to prevent that, if you go to schematic placements, configure, lock it. You can lock it in the upper right hand corner, and it no longer will move. Take that lock off. All right. Now let's say you want to get a materials list for this. This is by far my favorite feature of Litematica. So I have it set to BL, but it will be ML in the normal, thing, in the normal hotkeys. But BL will bring up the menu. So schematic assessments, click on it. BL. So if you click refresh, it'll show you. I'm going through a lot of menus, sorry. Like, it's not reacting the way it's supposed to react, so it kind of worried me. But anyway, if you click on refresh, it will refresh all this stuff. It'll come up. And then let's say you want to have it show up on your screen. You can turn it on. It'll show up on your screen. Now, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory. I have nothing now. So let's say I I will go find hoppers. So go in there, hoppers, and you pull out 4, right? Put it in your inventory. The hoppers just went from 8 to 4. It will read inside of shulker boxes too. So anything you have in your inventory, it will read it and it'll disappear from the list. So that way, let's say you're making a really big project and you need to find out just how many redstone blocks you still need. You can break all your shulker boxes with all the stuff in there, hold them in your inventory, and then find exactly what you're missing. If that doesn't work for you, you can also write to file. So if you write to file, it'll come up at the bottom, open up your menu list and click on it, and it will open up a notepad that has all that information in it. The only thing it doesn't show you, so if you look in here and you look right here, it'll say 8 hoppers. Well, if you look in this guy, let's look at airship with cloud material list. So it needs 27,000 white stained glass. What it does show you is how many shulker boxes you need. So it's 15.66 shulker boxes. That information does not show up on the notepad, but they're both useful. So like, let's say you get all this set up and you want to build it now. The best way that I say to build it is if you go into your menu and you go to configuration menu, render layers, and you go to single layer. Now if you go to set here, it'll be somewhere, anywhere. It won't just be right there. It'll be somewhere. If you go to set here, it'll set it here, and then you can go down from there by clicking page down or page up. So page down and page up will run it through all of them there. So basically you just come over here. So I just set all those, then I go up one and I do those. So let's say I do that and I'm missing that block and I'm on that layer, right? Well, I'm not sure if I have everything done, so I can go into my schematic verifier by BV or going into schematic placements, configure schematic verifier, and you can start the verification on a layer. So you can change the range from all to layers. Click start verification. It's now missing a tinted glass. Click on it. It'll highlight it, and there's the tinted glass. And it'll go away right when you click on it. Let's say you need to turn the schematic on or off, or you need to turn the rendering on or off. Those are 2 different things. So schematic placements and placement off will just turn off the placement, but it'll keep it here. It'll be exactly where you put it. You can turn it back on, or you go into configuration menu, hotkeys, and you go down to toggle all rendering, and mine says on BR. It will automatically be on MR. So if you click BR, there it goes. Everything related to Litematica is now unrendered. If you want it back, just BR again, and there it is. Let's say you want to paste a schematic. So right now, what is common is I'll leave it in layered mode, and if I don't see it, I'll automatically just assume that I need to bring it out of layer mode. It'll also tell you it's in layer mode too. So layers all. So if I bring it out, go to schematic placement on the lower left hand corner by clicking control and scrolling, and you can go through them and move it out of the way to where you need it to go, and then scroll through your modes to paste schematic in world with control and scroll wheel. And then when you go into your main menu, go to configuration menu, hotkeys, and then execute operation should be KP5. If I'm repeating myself, please forgive me. I've done this a few times now, and so I don't know if I've done this or not, but I'm just making sure I get on it. But KP5 is the keypad 5, and that's where I put mine. You can put yours anywhere. And then if I'm in paste schematic in world, schematic is right there. I just hit 5, and there it is. Paste it. Now, alternatively, let's go to delete through the scroll, like control and scroll wheel. And then I can highlight down here, highlight over here, and I can hold Alt while that box is highlighted, go up to the top, middle mouse click on that one. You can middle mouse click between boxes to choose them. So like that one, and you can put it right there. Now, alternatively, if I hit KP5, it's gone. I just deleted it. So one of the things that's really important is edit schematic. So if you go through your modes to edit schematic, so edit schematic right here. Let's say you want to manually do this. You can click right there and take it out with your left click. If you right click on the schematic, if you right click on the schematic, it'll put a ghost block there and change your schematic. Now let's say you want to change all these to crafting tables, right? If you want to change all of them to crafting tables, you need to go into your configuration menu, go down to schematic edit replace all. That'll be F9. Schematic edit replace all is F8. This is where I set these two, but they're unused. And so if I click F8 while holding, let's say, smooth stone, it'll highlight it, right click it, and it'll change all of them to that. Now let's say I want to change this to a block, right? I can either A, get rid of it by clicking on it and then put another ghost block there, or let's say there's 1,500 of them, right? And I need them all to now be full blocks. I can press the replace all F9, click on it with a full block, and it'll replace it. Now, let's say I try to do that with F8. Hold F8. It doesn't do it. It just won't do it. And so, because it'll only replace like a block with a block. So it's very interesting, like the way it works. But if you like, let's say you have this schematic and you don't want to use smooth stone, you want to use deep slate, then that's what you would do. You would come in, you would grab deep slate, hold it in your hand, hit F8, deep slate. You know, like whatever you want to do, and that way when you click on easy place, oh, you gotta switch the mode, schematic placement or area selection. But now whenever you hit like easy place, you can, easy place the stuff that's on the schematic. And it's very, like, like let's say I'm building an iron farm and I don't want to use the blocks it wants to tell me to, but I still want to build it fast. That's what I would do, is I would just change all the blocks. Something to help you down the road is if you go to configuration menu, go to generic, down at the bottom, pick blockable slots. You want to be 1 through 9. It'll only be 1 through 5. 1 through 5 when you're using easy place, or you like, you're trying to pick a block with your middle mouse click, sometimes you'll come up with this massive error that'll fly across the screen that says it will not pick a block outside of pickable block slots, or pick blockable slots. And so basically what you got to do is change this to 1 to 9 and it won't be an issue anymore. um Sorry, I'm reading notes. um I don't know if I went over this already, but I'm gonna really quick. Let's say you're schematic verifying and you have a really big project like a map art or something like that. If you start verification on it and you click it, you can go through and you can add in all the blocks that are now highlighted. And like, because like sometimes you can only just carry one block, like an entire inventory of one block, because that's how big it is. And so like if it's random places and it's confusing, it'll tell you where it is. If it's like very confusing and you don't know what you're looking at, basically you can click on, let's say it's a bunch of stairs, right? You can click on BV or go into your schematic verifier, and then you can go click on the list things that are very, confusing. Like let's say hopper's directional, and it'll tell you that it's this direction. It'll tell you that in the schematic verifier. It'll tell you it's facing north. And so every single one that's facing north will now be selected. It just is a very easy way to highlight stuff, like especially errors, like highlight blocks that, beforehand that will allow it to, you to find what you're looking for. Um, I think that's it. Um, I'm sorry if I missed anything. If there's anything that you need me to go over, or is anything you don't understand, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will be here, and I am sorry this took so long. So I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you.